my name is Kayla and I am one of the education assistants and animal trainers here in the education department at Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. And here with me today I have Bo. Can you go and say hi, Bo? And he's one of our animal ambassadors. Bo here is a Sulphur crested cockatoo. So these birds are found in Australia, and they're pretty common birds, pretty widespread around a number of habitats and areas in Australia, from subtropical to tropical rainforests, woodlands, and even farmlands, right? So you're pretty adapted to suburban and urban and rural habitats as well. So these birds, they live in flocks, about 20 plus birds, and some of their diet consists of seeds, which Bo's eating right now, as well as berries, fruits, roots and shoots, buds and bark and things of that sort. So some farmers out there in Australia do consider Bo a pest, isn't that right? And why is that? Because you like to eat different crops that they plant. So cereal crops and fruit crops sometimes are decimated by populations of sulphur crested cockatoo like Bo, right? But we here at the zoo do not consider Bo or any of birds of his kind a pest, do we? No? No, absolutely not. You're a very valuable animal ambassador to us, right? Exactly. So while they're foraging on the ground in medium to large flocks, they are vulnerable to predators like dingoes and feral cats. So these birds are so intelligent, they have evolved a social adaptation to help with that vulnerability. So while Bo's family members would be foraging on the ground for different seeds and nuts, like these, one of them, like Bo, would be a lookout, and he would stand up, make himself a very big bird, stand up nice and tall, perched in a tree as a lookout. So Bo would look to the front, to the side, and this way, and that way, and this way, and that way. Good job, looking all around for any dangerous predators that might be a threat to his flock. And what would happen if you did see a dangerous predator? Would you let out a big whistle? Good job. To warn and let all his family members know there might be something dangerous around, to get up off the ground into the trees to safety, right? Exactly. He's one step ahead of me there. So that whistle is one way that they communicate with their alarm call, but they are big communicators because they live in social groups. So another way that these birds communicate is with their crest. Crest? It's coming up a little bit. We're still working on this one. Crest. There we go, that was perfect. So that crest is where they get their name, Sulphur crested cockatoo, and they use that for communication in a number of different ways: to display for a mate when they might be defending their territory, or their flock members, to call their flock members, and it's also when they are checking things out. So they are very intelligent and curious, so they might put up that crest. Want to try it again? I know I'm giving you different hand signals. Crest. There you go. Perfect. When they're checking something new out, they might be surprised, a little nervous, but it's definitely a very good way for them to communicate different ways that they're feeling, right? Exactly. So these birds, like I said, are very intelligent. A lot of parrots have the intelligence of about a 3-year-old child, right? So you can see that they require a lot. One of my jobs, so Bo's job, is to come out here and be an animal ambassador for all his wild counterparts. He does a very good job doing that, right? And one of my jobs is to make sure that Bo's life is fully enriched. So that depends on the individual animal. So Bo is enriched. You can see he really enjoys coming out and doing shows and different education programs and interactions with our guests all over the zoo. So that is one type of social interaction that we use to enrich Bo's life. But in order for enrichment to be successful, it needs to be varied. If we were taking them out every day doing the same thing, that would kind of lose create its novelty, and it wouldn't be as enriching to him anymore. So I'm going to show you another way that we enrich animals. And enrichment is basically to stimulate the animal or mind physically and mentally. So we like to encourage natural behaviors. So out in the wild, like I said, Bo would be foraging around. So one item and one way that we enrich Bo, besides coming out and doing education programs, is making a forage box right here.